Hey, everybody, welcome back to Real Talk with QHT. I'm your host, George Herrera, with the Queens home team at Keller Williams Realty. And today I'm joined by the one and only, the CEO of Queens home team, Abigail Herrera.
Hello, greetings world.
Greetings to the world. I don't know how many subscribers we're at, but it's growing slowly,
Yeah.
you know.
Hello to our subscribers. We're so happy to have you join us each
Uh-huh.
week with such great information.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
today we have a new segment. Abby came up with this idea. She said, because we listened to this podcast where they just answer questions from callers. And since we're not a live call in show, we figured, why don't we just answer some questions on an episode and see what that's like?
Yeah.
Maybe people will find it helpful. So we pulled some real estate questions from a real estate forum, and these are questions that we think are good ones, and they're also relevant to Queens, right? Because
Yeah.
we come across these questions too. So we're gonna go down the list. We have a few. It's only a few, but hopefully you learned something from this episode. All right.
All right.
Should we jump right in?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. What day is it today, anyway?
It's Good Friday, actually.
Oh, happy Good Friday.
Happy Good Friday as well.
How do you celebrate Good Friday?
Just,
Blessings.
blessings.
Yeah.
Celebrate your blessings.
Be grateful.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So we're grateful over here. Happy Good Friday, everybody.
Hey,
Yes.
happy Good Friday to you, my husband.
It is a Good Friday.
Yeah.
Every Friday's a Good
I'm
Friday.
grateful. Are you
Yes.
grateful today?
Very, very. Yes.
I feel grateful.
So much
too.
to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going in. So this is going to be the first question. I'm reading it to you. You give me the answer. All right?
Okay. I'll
You're
act
getting-
like I'm surprised.
You're getting, yeah, she got a little run through, earlier, but you're getting answers from a longtime experienced Queens agent. Abby's been in the business since 2010 and has sold a lot of properties. So, hopefully this advice is helpful for whoever's listening. All right, so the title of this one is called Buy Down or Lender Credit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so hi, I'm a first-time buyer here. I'm under contract for a new construction home where the lender is offering either a lender credit of $2,850, like $2,850 towards the closing costs, or a buy down of the interest rate from 6.125% to 5.875%. I can't decide which is better for me. So with some quick math, they do some quick math, but pretty much the question is buy down or lender credit towards your closing costs. What do you think?
Well, personally, for me, I would choose the latter because it's, you're talking about the life of the loan in savings.
Yeah.
You are paying more upfront. So in our situation, if I were to make this decision, it would be to buy down the points. However, for someone that needs the money up front and that's more advantageous, then I can understand why somebody would choose
Yeah.
the first option.
If you're really tight, maybe on your
Really
closing
tight,
costs,
yeah.
then yeah, you might need to. The only other situation where you would take the credit over the buy down is if you plan to leave soon. Like
True,
if you plan to
yes.
sell that house in, 3 or 5 years, if you do the math of the savings, the buy down will save you a certain amount every month. And then it takes you a certain amount of time
To recoup.
to recoup that $2,850, right? So if you're gonna sell before you recoup the $2,850, then you just take the lender credit. But if you're planning to hold it for a while, usually it makes sense just take the buy down and you have lower monthly expense.
Zing.
Boom.
All right.
I'm all about lower monthly expenses. I mean, I don't. I'd rather lower my monthly cost of living.
But you
that's
definitely
just
made,
me.
talking through these ideas. I mean, it definitely makes sense depending on your situation. Period.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
you
that's
said.
true. It's,
So, good point.
especially if you're tight on the closing costs,
Yeah.
it could make sense.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next question.
Yes.
Can we go in? All right.
Please.
Next is seller wants to cancel after it says after signed contract for a better offer. But here, we can just say it's after accepted offer because that's what's very common in Queens and Brooklyn. So seller wants to cancel after accepted offer for a better offer. We placed an offer on a house on Sunday evening and woke up Monday morning to good news that our offer was accepted. The purchase agreement, so that's the offer form, was signed by both parties. The good feeling only lasted about 10 hours. We were later notified that they received a better offer for 15,000 more than ours. And as is, we were asked to match the offer or else they would go with another one. We decided not to agree to the changes. Today we're informed that they're canceling their deal and going with the higher offer. Are they allowed to just break the contract like that? Do we have any options, any repercussions for the sellers? We didn't break our contract in any way. We haven't even gotten into inspection yet. So let's relate to this specifically to Queens and Brooklyn. So it wouldn't be a contract. It's just a binder or a sales agreement, which is an offer form.
Or a purchase agreement. It can be named
Yeah.
all kinds of things, but in the end, it's just you're
It's not the
presenting an offer.
actual contract, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's you're presenting an offer again specific to New York City.
Yes.
You're presenting an offer that gets accepted by the homeowner,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a due diligence period from buyer paying for a home inspection, if any, and then lawyer involvement to draft the
Yeah.
contracts. Buyer signs, seller signs. Until that, all that what I've just said happens,
Mm-hmm.
it's basically it's nothing is truly binding. So a buyer can as well back out in the event they get cold feet. They actually saw a property they like better that may be less expensive down the street.
Yeah.
So they can rescind their offer and there's no repercussions on either side.
Yeah.
So it would have been great if this was educated, if the buyer was educated at this point, so that way they were aware about this time frame. And that's what really makes something so unique to New York, because other
Yeah.
states, just even over the bridge in New Jersey, when you sign an agreement, there is
But it might
it's
not
different.
be, but we don't, yeah, like we don't know, let's say whatever state this happened in, if there is any legal recourse because they didn't even get past the due diligence period. So it might not actually be a formal contract yet. So here in New York City, like Abby's mentioning, you have a binder. It can be signed by the buyer and seller. It really isn't legally binding though until the contract is signed by the buyer and the seller. So really, essentially, it's like a verbal.
Yeah.
It's like a verbal accepted offer all the way until contracts are fully executed.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, here it's a lawyer state. Buyers hire their own real estate lawyers, sellers hire their own.
Yeah.
Contracts are drafted by the lawyers after all terms are finalized, after inspection, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then buyer will sign.
Yeah.
And until the seller countersigns, it's not a binding contract
Yeah.
of sale. Seller has to countersign, and that initial escrow deposit has
Yeah.
to be put into the buyer's attorney's office.
Yeah. So
So,
like
excuse me, seller's attorney's office.
this is very common here. I mean, more so when we were in a really strong seller's market, but this is very common. So like a situation similar to this that we've seen happen a lot is they got the accepted offer, they did the inspection, they sent out the contract, buyer signs the contract. So let's say even here in New York City, buyer signs the contract. The contract is sent to the seller's attorney, and then a higher offer comes in, 15,000 more. And here in New York City, you can still lose the deal, meaning the seller can, like situations like this we've actually had where it happened and it's a significant amount. If it was just 5,000 more, usually sellers will just continue moving forward with their current deal. But when you start talking more significant amounts, like 15, 20,000 more, it's understandable that a seller would want to entertain that. And so we've had situations where, the buyer already signed, the contract is en route to the seller's attorney, and a much higher offer comes in, and now the seller has to make that decision. What they did right here, which in my opinion is the fair thing to do, is you give the first buyers the chance to match the offer. So look, this offer came in 20,000 higher. We're giving you the chance to match it before we go with
Yeah.
the higher offer. I mean, that's the fair thing to do. So they were given the chance to match it, and they decided not to. So that's why they went with the higher offer. But, unfortunately, that's how it works. And that's why, as a buyer, when you have a property you really like, you get an accepted offer, move quickly.
Yeah.
Do your due diligence, but try not to drag your feet and try to have an inspector that can get in there quickly. Try to have an attorney that works quickly, and you know, the quicker the better, so you
And
can lock it in.
also, and just so y'all know as well, the due diligence of a listing agent, meaning an agent representing a homeowner, they by law have to present all offers. So
Yeah.
even if there's a first accepted verbal, quote unquote verbal offer,
Yeah.
if another offer comes in, whether low or higher than this one, they are responsible to present
Yeah.
all offers to the owner because they are not the owners.
That's
so
right.
in the end, as long as everything is clearly communicated and this is just what it is. Of
Yeah.
course, we would love it to be much easier where upon accepted offer, it's temporarily taken off of market, buyer has an opportunity to do due diligence, but it just doesn't work like that here in New York.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, good
So
good one. That's a really good one.
That's the second one there. Third question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You like this?
I like
This
it.
would be cool if
It's
they
quick
were
talk.
if they were calling in with the questions. This would be awesome because then we
Hey.
could, like actually go back and forth with our.
We'll do
callers.
if whoever is hearing this,
Uh-huh.
who of you out there, oh no, we can't do a calling because this is pre-recorded.
Yeah,
Never
I don't
mind,
even
darn
know
it.
how we would do it. We would need to
Yeah.
learn how to do
But
that.
I would say this:
Our boy
if you
Dan could
do,
probably figure that
if
out.
you do want a question answered as we're
Yes.
reading these, please email us info
Yeah.
at queenshometeam.com specific to the podcast. Mention you want this on the podcast. We'll give you a shout out.
I'll make this guarantee. If you email us a real estate related question, we will answer it on the next episode.
Mention the podcast,
100%.
and then we'll shout you out.
Info at queenshometeam.com.
Yeah, cool.
All right. So next one. Have a question about capital gains.
That's a loaded question.
Uh-huh. So we just sold our first home in South Carolina. So this is in South Carolina.
Okay.
We were both active duty at the time and bought it originally in March 2018. So they bought in March 2018.
Okay.
We moved in July 2020.
Okay.
And we lived there as our primary residence
Mm-hmm.
for that entire time.
Okay.
That means March 8, 2018 to July 2020.
Okay.
So that's over 2 years, right?
Okay.
As primary residence. And because the market was so wonky, we found renters and had it rented until last February. Okay.
2023. Okay.
Do we have to pay capital gains? We didn't make, on the profit. They don't know if having it as a rental for the last 2.5 years messed everything up.
Well, okay. So from the date that they purchased.
So they bought March 2018.
Wait, I need a pen.
They sold in July 2020.
Okay, July
Okay.
2020.
And then they rented it after that.
Okay.
Okay. And then they just have had it rented since then.
July
so We're
2020.
2023. So yeah, let's say 2.5 years they had it rented.
Okay.
And for
March 2018.
to July 2020 was primary residence.
2 of the last 5 years.
Okay.
2 of the last 5 years is when the property is considered. As long as you lived in the property within 2 of the last 5 years,
Okay. And
then you
look,
have
so
the exemption still as a primary owner,
Yes.
primary residence,
Uh-huh.
owner occupied property. They purchased in March.
well, they closed in February 2023. So they closed just a couple months ago.
wait.
Yeah.
They closed on the sale of their home in
In
2023.
February.
So they made
28.
it.
I think they made it.
Yeah, because you said they
Because
purchased
if you
in
go
March of 2018.
Yeah. So
So
that
they-
would be 5 years would be 19, 20, 21, 22,
23. They made it.
Oh, they just
They
made it.
just made
Yeah.
it.
So the rule for anyone who's listening that doesn't know, in order to qualify for the primary exclusion or that primary exemption,
Mhm.
is you have to have lived in the home for 2 of the last 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and then you qualify to be exempt for up to 250,000 in capital gains for a single,
Yep.
and 500,000 for a married couple.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they just made it, like at the very last
At
minute.
the very last
So
minute.
they would not, assuming their capital gain is less than 500,000, they would not have any capital gains taxes.
Yeah.
But
Of course,
they
if there's
would've-
anything over that, if there's a gain over that,
Yeah.
then yes, there will be a calculation there.
Yeah, so that's a good one though,
Yeah,
right?
it's a
'Cause
great one.
But actually,
Kudos.
their question was more so, do we have to pay capital gains because we rented it out? In which in which case it's not the case. The rule is 2 of the last 5 years. So even if you lived in it for 2 years and then you rent it for 2 years, you still get that primary exemption as long as you lived in it for 2 of the last 5
Yes.
years. So that's the aha there for anyone listening. All right.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. So what do you
right.
think about those?
I liked it. I thought it was interesting. As a realtor, I've been doing this for many years, but I feel that those questions would come to value to people.
Yeah. So hopefully
Okay.
our Queens, Brooklyn, New York City listeners got some value from that.
Yeah, do me a favor, y'all. If you found value in that, I would love to hear from you because I want to make sure that this information doesn't go on deaf ears.
Find Abby on Instagram if you want to send her a quick message or something. Abigail Herrera QHT.
I'm not that
And-
social, by the way.
No, but she'll get your
social
message.
meaning active on social media.
Yeah.
But if I get your message, I will let you know.
She'll see it.
And
for
I'll feel
sure.
it will make my heart so happy.
If you send her a message, she will in return send you a funny animal video, guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So do that. All right.
Thank you.
So now, real quick,
Okay.
any ahas? Do you have any ahas of the week?
I do,
or
as a
something
matter
you
of
wanna share?
fact. I found this very interesting. We handle a lot of estate sales, and one of our clients' accountants has informed him for this estate sale to actually pay an appraiser to get a certified appraisal because the owner of this property has passed, in their opinion, like long ago. Long ago meaning, 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I guess, and as for those listening, when you do a probate or an administration, when you're handling an estate, one of the steps in the process is always the letter of valuation, right? That the attorney needs. As the time of death, they need to know what the property
The
was
accountant.
worth. Yeah. And
More
many
so the
times
accountant.
they reach out to us for it.
Yeah,
Right.
and over the years, actually, we've done so many. If you need a letter of valuation, I mean, that's something a realtor can provide for you.
Yes.
This is the first time where an accountant was suggesting to pay an appraisal company to get a certified appraisal. So I found this really great and interesting because we've been sending letters for so many years and it never came up as a question.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was
Or
trying
an
to say.
issue.
Yeah. And it's actually not. So I'll explain this, but we're essentially trying to save our clients some money because we've done it so many times in the past. I'm like, why are they stating that you need to pay? I'm curious, scratching my head, not
Yeah.
to overstep the accountant, but I'm curious why. So this is the answer. The IRS only recognizes and doesn't question an official real estate appraisal from a real estate appraiser. Because it's been such a long time since passing, now that you're getting the appraisal done, it actually has to be certified. It's not necessarily for me, this is the accountant speaking, but it is for the IRS that if they ever come back and question you or audit you. And she or he had mentioned that what we gave to our client would be like that accountant would actually be fine with.
Yeah.
However, if the IRS ever audited our client or asked for the copy, which should be sent with the filing, then they can absolutely question its validity. So I thought that was a really interesting fact there. So far to date, I mean, all the years that we've been providing these letters, that's never come up in question, at least to our knowledge. But this is good information.
And probably because it's not common for, the people to get audited, but it is if you are the type of person that wants to make sure everything is done by the book and you don't want to have any issues if you were to get audited, that's a way that you do it because then there's no issue. But I guess what he's saying, which probably is true, if any of our past clients or someone who we've done a letter of evaluation for, if they were to get audited, they would want the documentation, which would be our letter of evaluation, and they might question whether that is sufficient for them, whether that meets their criteria, and they may have wanted a certified appraisal, right?
So and I think that we were speaking about this yesterday, and I found your comment interesting, and it makes sense. If a realtor gave, look how I said realtor.
Man, you just did
realtor,
that.
Realtor.
No.
I don't know why I said it like that.
That's going on the pod. No, I'm putting that on social media. You said a realtor.
Okay, well, they say it like that in other parts of the country. But anyway.
That always gets me. Why realtor? That's a Southern thing, I think.
I've been visiting Texas so many years with you.
My brother says realtor, by the way. Shout out, Wak.
Shout out to Wak. Okay, so you had mentioned that you can see where it could come up in question is, let's say you have a realtor that's doing you a favor and they know that if they gave you
A
a high
lower,
no
higher.
higher
Yes.
valuation than what the property was actually worth
You
at
pay
time
less
of death
taxes.
value, you paid less taxes. So I can see where if like someone was trying to skew the figures,
Yeah.
then yes, if the IRS is scratching their head, then they're
Yeah.
gonna come find
Because
out
then
what's
let's
up.
say you got audited and they'll say, okay, we want a certified appraisal. And then they're going to do it and it's going to come in lower than what your realtor friend gave you.
Yeah,
But as long as
much
that,
lower.
yeah, as
Like
long as,
ridiculously lower.
yeah, then
Then
you'll
you're
pay
like, what do you
capital
mean you
gains.
sold in Astoria property for $5?
I know. No, 5 million.
Oh, 5 million. Excuse
Yeah.
me, 5 million.
No, so yeah, as
Well,
long as
what do you
the,
mean? What do you mean you sold a condo for 5 million in Astoria?
I
Okay,
know. So yeah, so it's as long as the letter of valuation is reasonable, I think you'd be safe either way
okay,
because yeah.
all right, good one.
All right. So that's that
That's my
and
aha.
real quick for market insights, the 10-year treasury right now.
Yay!
Oh, no sound effects.
Oh, darn
Oh
it!
man.
It's Good
Um,
Friday. Gave the sound effects a rest.
We got to get Abby a sound effects board.
Please.
Okay. So the 10-year treasury, 3.29%.
Ah,
And last episode, what was it?
3.39%.
Yeah, so it's down 10 basis points.
What does that mean to the public?
So that just lets you know mortgage rates most likely are down.
Okay.
Okay. And mortgage rates, so the average rate for a 30-year fixed right now
Mm-hmm.
is 6.18%. So 6.2 pretty much.
Okay.
And the last episode, it was,
6.55.
yeah. So,
Oh wow, my memory. Or I just had this cheat sheet.
and remember, so rates peaked in October last year, 7%. This year, January, they were going down all January. February, they spiked, and we got back to 7%. I think in February, or February or March, and now we're down from 6.5 down to 6.2%.
All right.
And we've been seeing an uptick in activity because the rates have been
Hey.
going down. So 6.2%. I mean, if you've been in the market recently and you haven't checked the rates, definitely, take a look there.
Cool.
And last, reading, watching, listening, anything you want to put our,
Well, you as our avid reader, George, what are you reading these days?
reading?
One new thing.
5 love languages.
Oh yes, you continue to talk about
That's
that
awesome. For any married, it's for anybody really, but specifically for married couples, if you want to be a better partner, for sure. I mean, it's got some good stuff in there.
book. Okay.
Just to understand your
how
partner.
just to understand and how to be a better partner.
Yeah, it's like how to understand your partner's love language.
Okay.
And when they start doing the scenarios, it's like, oh, okay, it really resonates.
Okay,
It's
cool.
good.
I gotta
Yeah.
read that after you,
Uh-huh.
so I can
I'm
be
simple,
conscious about
beer
being
and
a better partner.
beer and wings.
Okay,
I'm a
let me
happy
make
man.
sure I get some 12 packs. Make sure the fridge is stocked all the
Yeah.
time.
The more complex individual in this relationship is.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty simple
wife.
too, beer, wings.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a loud laugh. Sorry.
That was really
I hope
loud.
I didn't blow any.
Sorry,
I
everybody.
didn't blow
My
somebody's
gosh.
eardrums. But that was funny.
You reading,
Yet
watching,
true.
listening?
We just finished and wrapped up Blackbird.
Oh, that was good.
It's a little heavy. It's heavy.
It's dark.
For those of you that it's based on a true story about a serial killer, so it's quite heavy.
That's true.
So just be mindful. It might not be for all crowds.
yes.
But what's much lighter in reverse is Acapulco. Love that
yeah,
on Apple
Acapulco,
TV.
Apple TV.
Yeah, both are actually on Apple. Oh man, shout out to Apple TV.
Yeah,
Not
they're
like we're
coming
sponsored
through.
or anything,
I
but
know,
we
I
wouldn't
know.
mind being sponsored. You know what I mean?
Apple, if you're listening, Tim Cook, I'm on deck. Just shoot me the text. Wherever you need us, we're there.
But yeah, the Apple TV is coming through. Ted Lasso, of course.
Yeah, but definitely Blackbird was good.
Yes.
And Acapulco, that's family friendly. You
Yes.
can watch that with the whole family.
Such
that
a
one's good.
such a fun. I love it. Makes me
It's
feel
a feel-good show, yeah.
feel good show. Whoa, those are two totally different shows on.
Yeah,
totally
see, we're all
different
over the
spectrums.
place.
Yeah.
We can watch the dark serial murder shows.
Oh my
and then
goodness,
watch
excuse
like
us.
a Ted Lasso.
Excuse us.
Sorry, we're
Anyway,
human. What
yeah.
can we say? All right, I think that's it. I think we're good. We're right on time.
Oh, perfect. Oh
and
yeah.
we appreciate all of you.
Thank you
Yes.
for tuning in and listening.
Yeah.
I suppose I can wrap this up by saying tune in. We also have a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
Queen's Home Team.
Yes.
We have a podcast, which you're listening to right now.
Instagram.
We also have an Instagram,
Check us out.
a Instagram.
Account. Yeah, check us out online. Come on, y'all.
We have
Connect. Don't be shy. Connect with the squad.
yeah, Queen's Home Team platform.
Yeah.
You know, we everywhere.
Yeah, but we're here, and hopefully you enjoyed this episode. We're gonna do these every once in a while. Q&A with QHT. That's gonna be the new thing. Every once in a while, we'll just come in and answer a few rapid fire questions.
Wait, I'll say one last thing on this Good Friday. If somebody gives me, how can I make this? It's a giveaway.
I think the funny animal video is the treat. That's you.
Okay.
You're gonna get a really funny, cute animal video.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
We'll leave it at that.
Reach
Find
out to
me,
Abby.
Abigail Herrera,
QHT,
QHT,
yeah.
Instagram, and I'll send you something that will make you feel good too.
There you go. Thanks,
right,
everybody,
y'all.
for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next episode. Take care. Have a great day.
Peace.